Hey there, guys. Marcus McDaniel here for physics reading week 12. Oh, jeez, God, it's so cold out here. But, physics never stops, so here I am. So this week, basically, we went over angular momentum principle as well as torque. We learned a couple new things, such as like the right hand. What was that called? It's just the right hand rule. And then we went over more angular momentum and then also cross products with vectors. Let's see. So basically the stuff that was reviewed, the only part that was reviewed for me was the determinant section of this week. I only learned that just because I took that in math. So that made a little bit more sense. Now we're using different variables, using different terms and stuff, but the concept itself is the same. One of the most challenging aspects for me this week actually was the right hand rule. I was getting really confused when he started moving his hand around. Actually, I had no idea. I have to rewatch it a couple times just to figure out all the different ways you have to move your hand, point your fingers, things like that. Because apparently that's really helpful in determining, like when we were trying to figure out the torque and stuff and which way is it going into the screen or out of the screen, or like negative Z, positive Z. Apparently the right hand rule is what you use in order to figure out which way it's pointing. So that's something I definitely need to go over and do again. It's kind of a cool trick. I never really figured you could use your hand to figure out something like that, but I'm just gonna have to watch the edX videos a couple more times. Like if you're struggling with that too, watch the edX videos a couple more times. Hopefully that'll help me and break it down, maybe go slower, because I have a feeling that we're gonna be using that quite heavily when dealing with torque and direction. So in terms of the cross products and stuff, that seems fairly similar. To me, it almost looked like, I don't want to say dot product, but almost kind of. It just involved a little more steps, a few more variables and stuff. But the concept itself is the same. You have two vectors. You can put them in component form, and then break them down by their different variables and stuff. So that doesn't seem too complex. So I could be wrong. Now angular momentum itself seems a little more challenging. I feel like if we're able to implement some of the formulas and the kind of ideas that we've been using in the previous weeks, I think that we'll be able to figure it out. But as of right now, this is one of the more challenging aspects for sure. Basically, I would say the only thing that could potentially relate to my major would be the determinant section, only because I've taken a class where it involves math, which also involves there's linear algebra, which is kind of related to my major. That's something that I've been using before. Now, thankfully, it was more of a review, so I was kind of able to figure out, and understand that topic a little bit more. Because I have a feeling if I didn't understand that topic, it would make it a little tough for me in the future. So thankfully, that section is review, so I'm kind of on the right path there. Now, in terms of learning this angular momentum stuff, I think if I just watch the edX videos a few more times, maybe search up some more practice problems, or maybe even a tutoring section or something like that. That could always help solve these kind of problems. Basically this week we kind of just went over angular momentum and torque and stuff and introduced new topics. So I'll definitely refer to YouTube. I think YouTube will be a big help for me, and also maybe talk to friends and stuff about it. Basically that's kind of all we went over this week, and we'll see how that implements into lectures this week. Trying to think what else. Let's see. We kind of moved on from thermal energy, so I don't think we'll really be dealing with that anymore, but I feel like all these physics concepts are just going to keep coming back. But there weren't too many videos this week, so there's not a whole lot I can say. But I will say, I think cross products and stuff, I'm looking forward to, because they don't look too challenging. But angular momentum is going to be a tough one, and same with torque. So I guess we just have to take our time step by step and solve this week and get ready for next week. So we'll see you guys.